So I went to see Dan Howell on tour. You know, the Dan, I don't know his middle name, Howell, that you've heard of. I have this creepy lamp. It's got an orange light for some reason, and I thought it was fitting. Can you tell? It looks super. It's like a very like creepy orange, like chicken coop orange. I think chicken coops use red light, but I mean like it's not yellow. Okay, anyway. So yeah, I got to see Dan on tour. So this is technically the second live tour I've seen. I was lucky enough to go see Interactive Introverts, which I was so excited. I watched TATINOF in 2016 on YouTube Red, and I was so excited. I got on a little themed outfit for it, and like bought YouTube Red just for that. Ah, that was like the happiest time I like in recent memory. And then seeing Interactive Introverts was I I was like so excited the whole time. And then they have everybody like sing the same songs in the pre-show, and like just have people who are also excited about the same things I was just like so different. I think like with the internet, it's like harder to find people in real life who like the stuff you like because you can curate what you like so much. Um, like with influencers, like it's all online. Like you don't, it's not something that you like can, like you have to choose to go watch it with somebody, but like if it, since it's on like your phone or your computer, like it's something that you tend to just enjoy alone. And then with the comment section, like, so to be in a room with a bunch of people who also like the same stuff on the internet, it's like so wild. uh so like this tour of course was just Dan. It wasn't Phil and Dan. Jeez, what the heck, this lamp. Okay, maybe I'm just hallucinating, but it feels like hot. Maybe I'm just seeing it. I don't know. Um, uh, so this tour was it like it's called like a comedy tour, but it's not like a stand-up show. It's like a little skit. It's kind of like a live YouTube video because it was like casual discussion, and like Dan like talked a lot with the audience, which was like really cool. Like it felt like, yeah, like a live YouTube video. So it was like he was saying his like normal kinds of jokes, but then like with a live reaction, so he could like react to people's reactions. Um, and so it was like, you know? And then I don't know, it just got me thinking about like, oh yeah, this is where I got half, not where I got, but maybe this is why I watch Dan, is like why like we have such like a similar sense of humor, and like being in a room with everybody with the same like very weird specific sense of humor is so cool because like people like have to choose to watch Dan. It's not like like it's on like a public platform of course, but it's not like something that's like on TV, so like you it's not gonna be like anybody off the street's gonna like pick to watch Dan. It's like the specific people who chose to watch Dan are all here together, like all enjoying the same jokes that we watch Dan for, and it's like it's such an interesting experience in in a media sense, you know. I don't know. And then also going to the show like reminded me of like how excited I was when I went and I saw Interactive Introverts, or when I watched TATINOF, and like how like Dan like inspired my YouTube channels in so many ways, and like so many of my like hobbies and TV shows I discovered because of watching Dan and Phil. Like I wouldn't have watched Buffy, and I wouldn't have watched True Blood, and I wouldn't have watched like all those kind of edgy teen stuff. And like I think that's really cool that like something like that is possible, because like back when, you know, that was really big, like I was in high school, I was definitely really into like the British YouTubers, like Marcus Butler and stuff like that. I don't even think Marcus Butler has posted like since then, but like I watched like his little friend group and stuff. But then none of them really like inspired me to make a YouTube channel, or like inspired my hobbies like Dan and Phil did. And I think like that's what makes them like, I don't know, like influencer is like thrown around a lot, but like I don't know, like seeing how much those guys literally influenced me. I don't know, it just makes me think about like how when certain people are influencers, like they really don't understand like how much they can affect somebody. Like influencer is such a good word for it. Even though it sounds like weird and like kind of dystopian, like that is what's happening, right? Because it's kind of like your peer, or like your mentor almost, but you get to pick who they are and they don't know you. I don't know. This sounds so strange. It's so like meta to talk about. Not meta like Facebook. Why did they have to co-opt that? But I mean like you know? Like I don't know. It's so weird. Like I don't know. Either way though, getting to see Dan again made me like really excited about like why I started doing YouTube, and like why I started doing like art. Like I have always done like art stuff, but like they really like inspired me to like get more into it, and like the fandom with a PH like really helped me like curate my creative skills that like I wouldn't have done without them. And I think that's like so amazing, cuz like it's not like he'll ever meet most people who sees he's affected. And like I feel like Dan, he's just a guy, you know? Like he's just a guy, but like by just being a guy, he's like there for so many people. And I think that's like crazy to think about, and like he probably doesn't want to think about that, like but like I don't know, like how much the internet makes you feel like you're not weird and alone. Like you can be weird with all these people, you know? Like all these people are kind of weird, and all these people are kind of like having fun together, and it's like so cool. I don't know. So I don't know. I'm very thankful that I got to see Dan again. It just really made me like inspired to keep going on YouTube, and inspired to like re-inspired me of why I did it in the first place, and how much happiness I get from being creative like this. It's so cool. If you can still go see Dan on tour, I would suggest it, because I don't know, it's fun. It's a good show. Like Dan has a lot of promotional content. I'm not gonna give any spoilers, of course, because that would be rude of me to do. Um, but like, it's not like, I've heard that it was like sad. Like he was promoting it as if it was like sad and like very lewd. Like people are crying and people are gagging. I don't know. But like it's like it is like makes you think about stuff, and it is called we're doomed, right? We're all doomed. It's on my shirt. So like it is kind of like Dan pression. But it's not like a downer show. It's more like bad things are happening, but it's fun that we're all together for it, kind of thing. um, and so, like, if you're worried about it being too much of a downer, it's not too much. It's not that. It's not like a downer show. I mean, if you like Dan, like it's like Dan style. Is that a weird way to say it? It's like it is like it's like dark humor, of course, but it's not like super dark or anything, and it's not like sometimes Dan would say like, "Oh, it's really lewd," and it's like if you watch Dan, you know how lewd it's gonna be. Like it's not like more than normal. Like there are like a lot of suggestive jokes, but like not in like a he doesn't do it as like a gross out like some comedy would. He does it like just as like funny like sarcastic quips like how Dan does. And so like I don't know. Like it's not like lewd and it's not sad. Like it's good. I mean it's my humor. It's Dan's humor. Like if you so like I don't know. Like I feel like just it's kind of promoted as if it's edgier than it is. I mean, maybe if you have never seen him, then you might not like it. But I mean, like if you know who he is and what kind of content he makes, like that's it's just in line with that. And I just also wanted to make a note about like how much more comfortable he seemed on stage from like seeing all three shows. Like he feels like it is scripted, so it's like he's like acting a little bit, but he's also like interacting, and he feels like so much more. He that's to me, it appears like he's a lot more comfortable, and that's like good to see. Like he seemed like more at ease, and like he could like jest with the crowd a lot better, whereas like like in the other tours, like you could tell that he was a bit like standoffish and like squeamish, and he had mentioned about how he was those things and nervous about being authentic because he hadn't come out yet in those other two shows. But like now that he has, like he can like have his sense of humor like so much more freely, so the jokes just kind of like roll instead of like Holt. I like women, you know? It's more like I don't know, is that a harsh way to say it? I mean like not like in a bad way, but I mean like he can just talk now. And like that's noticeably different. Or maybe I'm noticeably different from before, but like that was like really cool to see. I don't know. Like seeing him be himself is cool. I don't know. It's really cool. So, yeah, it's an enjoyable show. It feels like hanging out with a bunch of friends. Um, so I suggest it if you can still go see him. And he said that maybe it would be recorded at some point and like put up somewhere. I don't know. But if you can't go see him, I would suggest go watching it when you can. So yeah, that's about it. That was like kind of more existential than informative. That's how it is, I guess. All right. Thank you. Goodbye, everybody.